Hi, it's Vinda here from Midland Property Investments with another episode of Property Question Time. And with me today, I've got George Gannon from Property Leverage. Now, George built up a £3.6 million property portfolio via commercial conversion before the age of 26. So, welcome, George.
Thank you.
Hi, George. How are you doing? You okay?
Great, thank you.
So, George, again, thank you. I know you're very, very busy, and thank you for taking time out to let me interview you. Let's start, obviously, 26 is quite a young age, yeah. So, just for the audience, maybe very quickly, how did you get to become a sort of holding that much portfolio before 26?
Yeah, it just started with my mindset, my personal belief. I went straight into a trade for on £1 an hour as a painter.
£1 an hour? Okay, wow. Where was that then?
Yeah, as a painter and decorator. As soon as I left school,
right.
Served my time in that, and then realised I'd never be rich being a painter and decorator.
Not £1 an hour, no.
So I decided I wanted to get into property. The best way to do that was the traditional route, which was college, university, and become a building surveyor.
Okay, right.
Whilst I was college, though, I saw, if I'm honest, it was Sarah Beanie and it was Property Ladder that
Sarah Beanie, okay.
Yeah, that really sparked that belief that I could do it, because I saw some complete, let's say, idiots on there.
Right, okay.
And they managed to make money.
Right.
And I was thinking, wow, if they can do it, I can.
Okay.
So I thought, right, I want to get on the property ladder. How do I do this?
Right.
And I went to see a mortgage advisor, so I went to see a specialist, and they said, you're a full-time student, you've got zero cash in the bank, no chance.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, but I'm very determined, never take no for an answer, and I went to the next mortgage advisor, asked the same questions. Can I have a mortgage, please? I said, full-time student, zero cash in the bank, no guarantor, no chance.
Okay.
So I was like, okay. And then when I went to the seventh and final mortgage advisor in Darlington, and I got the same answer, I thought, okay, I'll believe you now. But by doing that and being determined, I came across one of them that was within an estate agency.
Okay.
And they had an auction catalogue in there. And in the auction catalogue, I found a property which had a guide for around 6,000.
6,000, wow,
yeah.
Okay, right.
So I went to the bank and asked if I could take a loan out. I said it'd be for a car, because I didn't think they'd give me it if I said it was for a house, being so young. So I was 21 at the time.
21 years, okay.
21 is when I started my property journey.
Right.
And drove up to Northumberland, had a look at the lower flat, completely gutted, needed everything doing to it. And then I drove down to Leeds, read the legal pack, bid on the property in the auction, secured it for a grand total of 6,500.
Wow, okay.
So my first apartment, 6,500, age 21. So more than 7 people had told me, no, George, you can't do it. You're a full-time student. You have zero cash in the bank.
Right.
So I had a huge challenge, and I found a solution around it. I picked that property up and I sat on it for 9 months while I was finishing my college course off.
Okay.
I got a treble distinction national diploma in construction, so 3 straight A's in construction there.
Okay.
And AutoCAD level 2. And whilst I was doing that, I didn't do a thing to the property, but I negotiated with a gentleman who owned the upper flat and managed to sell it to him for 16,500. So I made a good around £10,000.
I see.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So that was my first property, my first flip.
Right.
Age 21, and I'd say the top tip in that is you make your money when you buy. So it's identifying something so stupidly below market value that you could instantly flip it on tomorrow if you needed to.
Okay, just one question. 6,000. Can you just tell the audience what year that was? Because that is stupidly cheap. That is, yeah.
It was. You're asking me now.
Right, it was that long ago, was it?
Yeah, probably 2001-ish, maybe.
Wow, but still, there. Okay, right, okay. Yeah. So what happened? So you saw that, but you thought, okay, you made some money, and then how did that accelerate to what you're known in the industry was commercial conversion? Because a small flat to type of conversions, which I know you're doing, So How would you say, how did that journey?
Yeah, so from there I went to Northumbria Uni to study building surveying, and whilst I was there I looked for somewhere that I'd like to live myself that was quite safe.
As a student, okay.
Yeah, found a 2-bedroom upper flat in a student area heating, added another bedroom so I could rent it out to my friends, and created my first mini-mo per se.
Okay.
Age 22.
Okay.
And then whilst I was at university I found a pub to convert into 4 flats.
Right, okay.
So I went to the banks and I said, can I have 100% development finance please?
Right.
And they said, you're a full-time student, you've got 0 cash in the bank.
Well, you heard that before, have you?
Yeah, you've managed to get a student loan out for $3,000 somehow, and you've got no development experience on this level, and the property you're wanting to buy is speculative, i.e. it does not have planning permission in place. Yeah. So it's a boarded up public house that I was wanting to get planning for.
Was that was before permitted development, wasn't it, I think?
Correct, yeah, and permitted development wouldn't apply to the pub anyway, it's just offices. Yeah.
Okay,
so,
right.
But well before then, and basically I went to a few banks, looked at mezzanine finance, and overall, given them huge 5 factors, 100% finance, the banks were all saying no, so I thought, right, another challenge, I'm 22, I want 100% development finance to take on a public house to convert into 4 flats. Right. How do I do this? And luckily, through college and university, I used to go and decorate a self-made millionaire's mansion in the Isle of Man.
Really?
Yeah, so I'd do 80-hour weeks back to back for Alan Hall in the Isle of Man. Right. And basically, he could see the drive and the commitment, and I was an honest, ethical person. So
did you give me right? So you used to go all the way from, is it Northumbria? So
Bedale in North Yorkshire.
North Yorkshire. Yeah. All the way to
the Isle of Man, because my dad went out there to build to do some building work.
Right. Okay.
So the connection was there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And luckily, I mentioned it to him, and he said, "Do me a business plan. I'll lend you 100% funding."
Wow.
So I was like, "Wow, thank you, Alan."
Wow.
So he lent me 100% funding. I bought the property auction terms, and managed to do the plans myself, the building control myself, and the vast majority of all the work myself, bar the roofing and plastering and wiring. Okay. And I've had people who've been in the trade all their lives, and they've looked at it and they said, been in the trade all my life, so I wouldn't even dream of taking something like this on. Right. He says, what possessed you? And I said, well, that's why I want to learn. It needs everything doing to it. So it had dry rot, wet rot, extensions to do at the back, returning walls to do, actual creation and design for new units. It was just phenomenal, the learning experience and the learning curve that I had from that. Just very intense.
Just numbers and timescales. What kind of numbers are you talking about now?
So I picked that up for 90,000. Okay. I spent roughly 90,000. Okay. And it was worth around 247-ish. Afterwards, there was 72,000 profit stroke equity once finished. So I sold one of the units, remortgaged the other 3, paid Alan back all his money plus 10% interest on the money lent, and then from there and that project took just slightly over a year, so a year and a month or 2. Right. So say about a year. Yeah. Okay. From there, then went and found a 30-bed care home, as you do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're lying around, I think, don't they?
Yeah. So
they are probably lying around. Okay.
I was a lot older and a lot wiser. I was 24 then.
24 then. Okay.
So, very experienced. Yeah. Went to the banks again, and they said, well, actually, You've not sold all your units, so you've still got no money.
Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Again, is it a record being played there again? Okay.
Yeah. And you've still not got the development experience for something this large. We really appreciate you've gone from 1 to 4. You've done 4 successfully and got a good exit. Now you're jumping straight onto doing a 30-bed care home into 20 apartments.
Right. Okay.
So I went to Alan, asked Alan, and he said, No, George, it's a bit big, this one, to be honest.
Okay.
He said it'll do you good to learn how to find investors elsewhere. So I was like,
okay.
Right, thanks.
Okay. So that is another skill, really.
Yeah.
I think as a property developer, or even as a business person, I think finance is a skill that you have to develop. I've never thought about that, even myself. I'm saying, okay, if I want to do this, I have to go out to the market and look for finance.
Yeah.
So that's a skill that you developed, okay, right?
Yeah. So I went knocking on doors with the banks, and I was wise enough to know that getting 100% development funding for that, and it was a bit big.
Yeah.
Again, absolutely everyone told me, you can't do this, it's too big, why are you rushing?
You're
this, that,
too
and the
young,
other.
that's too big.
Yeah,
right,
too
okay.
young, and I just knew in my heart that I can do this, and I will do it, and I'll find a way to do it. So I went knocking on doors, managed to find an investor that lent me 60,000.
Right.
I used that alongside a bridge to buy it, and because I managed to secure it, 13,000 square foot, 30-bed care home for 275,000.
Wow.
And this was up in Northumberland.
Okay.
So I knew that I could instantly sell this on once I got planning permission for more money.
Right.
If I got stuck.
Yeah.
So I went to work.
So you had a plan B as well, because
Correct.
Because I know development projects, things can go wrong,
Yes.
and even the thing can go right at start as well.
Yeah.
So you had a plan B, and you were happy that you could still get some money out of it if you
Correct.
use plan B.
Yeah.
Okay, right, okay, cool.
So I managed to buy the property. Again, did the plans myself. The majority of the building work I did. Brought up some friends in from college and university.
Okay.
To help me with this one, so I wasn't doing the work. I was more as a project manager, director, and assistant, helping out with site management a bit.
Right.
And they were all younger than me, so they were like looking to me for guidance. 24, and so I managed to get the planning permission through. Got a uplift in value, remortgaged it, pulled a bit of money out, did a bit more work.
Right.
And then ran out of money.
Right.
Had to remortgage again.
Okay.
Ran out of money.
Again, finance, running out projects. I'm involved in a number of projects, and finance is something. It's so key.
Yes.
I just didn't realise, and finance might sound a bit obvious. It can make or break a project, can't it?
Completely. Yeah.
And up until you sell, it's always an issue, isn't it? Sort of,
Yes,
So not just when you're getting the property, but development, throughout the stages up until if your exit is to sell. Okay.
One bit of advice I got from someone many years ago is someone said to me, "You, as a developer, you'll never not need money. It's the only time you'll stop needing money when you're a developer is when you pack in and you stop developing, or you sell up, or you're dead.
Okay.
Okay, because there's always more to be done, and more you can do.
Yeah, I learned that as well. That I thought, okay, I'll buy all the properties, and I'm happy. I've got any more money for. But then once you bought some properties, obviously, what I do is small scale. What you do. To carry on as a business person, you have to keep buying or developing properties, and you forever need to finance. Okay, so it's going pretty well, and then what happened? Did you complete on time?
So with that one, I got about halfway through, and the mortgage lender said we can only do 2 remortgages, so I had to throw it onto a bridge. So I was maybe about 24, coming into 25, and I had $500,000 on a bridging loan.
Right.
At that age, very stressful.
Very stressful.
Very stressful.
Okay. You're doing a DPS even now. I think it's been a tough time.
I knew I could do it. I had complete belief and conviction in myself, and I battled through. And finally, I managed to get Close Brothers on board. I realised I was just that little bit of distance away from finishing. Very impressed with what I did. And then they came on board and lent me 100% development finance to finish the project off.
Okay.
So I was like, wow, thank you. And managed to develop it out, converted it into 20 apartments, and then I remortgaged it.
Okay.
Paid back Close Brothers, and after I paid them back, I was left with mortgages for 20 apartments. And I pulled out 291,000 out of the deal. So I was able to pay the investor back the 60 grand. And I was left with a nice chunk of capital. For moving forward. So sort of 26, 2025, left with 20 apartments plus the 3 from before and another one.
Yeah.
So it's 24 apartments.
Right.
And close to $250,000, just under in the bank.
All right. Okay. Wow.
So yeah, and that was just having going out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And I've still got something on my wall, and it says, unless you're constantly out of your comfort zone, you're not growing.
Right. Okay. Right.
It's not for everyone.
Yeah.
Some people like to sleep at night.
Yeah.
But I knew where I want to be, and I know I'm going to get there. So now, it's one thing going all out for wealth creation, but once you create it,
protect it.
It's more about wealth protection now and preservation. Right. So that's why I'm so intent on de-risking. So just really making sure your exit's bulletproofed. And you actually start with the exit first, so you make sure you can get an exit, your investors can get an exit, and the people that you're looking to develop and sell to, they can actually buy it off you, and there is a market for that.
There is a market for that. Okay, right.
Yeah, what you'll find at the moment is building up to the big recession. Yeah, a lot of developers realise they can make more money by doing, say, a block of 31 beds. Right. Excuse me, instead of doing, say, a mixture of 20 twos and one beds. Right. So there's a bit more diversity there. Okay. And
I'm confused. So do you think you can get more money out of doing one bedrooms, as opposed to mixing and matching,
Yeah.
And why is that? Is it because people are living on their own a bit more now?
Because if you say a 1-bed flat will value up at 80,000, whereas a 2-bed will value up at 100, right? And you can get an extra 10 units out of there. You get a higher gross development value, GDV.
Okay, so. George. So things are obviously going pretty well. Obviously, trust me, it's hard work. I appreciate that. Things are going well, but then obviously, you came a little bit unstuck.
I did, to be honest. Yeah. So
what happened there?
I did that building, and then went and did a block of 14. Again, did that really successful. Customers said, "Wow, George, we love you. You've given us 2 exits on what we deem problem properties, apartment blocks, and commercial conversions, which is a bit more of an unknown." So everyone says to me, "You want to get into new build? If you can do commercial conversion, which is bloody hard, new build will be a walk in the park for you." But I enjoy it. I've got my passion for that, and that's my niche. Did a minus hall into a couple of apartments and commercial storage to the back, bungalow. And when I was doing one apartment block, I was looking to sell for $1 million. The recession came along.
Wow.
And like everyone, couldn't really sell it. Yeah. And I got knocked to the ground, wind knocked out of me. Yeah. Dusted myself off, and I went looking for answers, thinking, right, I've never been in a recession before. Right. The people I employed, the people I was employing are all younger than me. Yeah. From college and uni, so they were asking me what to do. And I said, "Ask your parents. I've not been through one before." Right. Okay. Did do an emergency plan, and I said, "Well, what do you want to do?" And they said, "Well, we'll keep going." Yeah. And it was very, very hard, but we managed to get through eventually. Right. But when I went looking for answers, I came across these gurus per se that were teaching all these courses. Right. And I looked at them and I thought, who are these guys telling me what to do? I've done all this before they were even started. And but then I listened to them and I was like, wow, that is great advice. Right. And what they were saying was good quality stuff. So
that's Rob Moore and Mark Hall.
Yeah. Okay. So I went to them and said, could I teach a commercial conversion course, would you like to joint venture on that? Right. And they said, yeah, actually we're thinking about that, come back to us in a bit. Came back to them in a bit, and then I created the UK's first 2-day commercial conversion course. Okay. Yeah. Ran that with Progressive. I felt they were the largest and most ethical company out there at the time, and I ran that with them for a good couple of years. Right. Great guy, Glenn Delve, has taken over since, and he's doing phenomenally well. Yeah, definitely recommend his course as well. Right. And when I've since exited from Progressive to work on my own brand, which is Property Leverage, and that'll be launching in 2007. So 2017 even, excuse me. And I was just going to say, if you're watching now, it could even be 2017. So So basically, I just really want to take my name away from it, so it's not George Gannon and it's property leverage.
So what we'll do is we'll put some links beneath as well. People can click on it so they know where to go.
Yeah.
Okay, so you bounce back, because obviously recession, I know it really knocked the wind out of a lot of people, not just yourself. Yeah. And and then just going back to the present day, I know that you're working on a couple of massive projects now, and we're working on a couple of projects together as well. Can you, tell me a bit about a project which is absolutely massive? Tell me what that project is.
Okay, so there's one of the projects called Never Hall, and that was for a mentee of mine that I was working with, and I said, David, you're next in line. Let's get one off the ground for you. So I went out, found Never Hall, did an appraisal. My in-house architect did an appraisal as well, my site manager, and we all came up with Paul, who never viewed the property, 400 offer. I was comfortable at 450, and then Damien, who's worked on it a bit more intensely, was saying up to 500.
Wow. That's to buy it,
to buy it, yeah. So I went to the auction, I was bidding on it, and I thought, as soon as it goes over 450, I'll be a bit nervous.
Right.
But managed to secure it for 410,000.
Okay.
And that's 38,000 square foot of building. So huge.
I've been there, by the way. Yeah.
Grade 2 listed office building, 1861, and a 1987, 1970s purpose brick built extension to the rear.
Yeah.
And we looked at different scenarios for it, and we decided to do 9 HMOs and 6 service departments.
Right.
So when we're finished, we're going to have 83 rooms to rent out from this one.
Wow, that's a massive project.
And
I've been there. I was quite impressed with it. And while that's still going on, there's another project that we're working on together. It's just in Derby. By the way, we're in Derby right now. So that I'll probably put a video about that. But you got that project going on. We got Netherhall, is it Netherhall?
Correct.
But you still got some other projects going on as well. Is that right?
Yeah. So another mentee of mine said he wants something local and very
local to him.
And within his price range.
Right.
And he didn't have much money.
Right.
So I was like, okay, well, so these are my